begins on a gloomy night, lonely stretch of New York, where we see a toll booth, where a man is doing his night shift as a toll collector. He is handsome, grim-faced, and staring around unemotionally. The road, lights, and vehicles around him appear to have little appeal to him. He's either doing his job or passing the time. Finally, the night have come to an end, and so does shift. He's walking home with the same ice-cold attitude. He's at home now. His wife is serving him breakfast, and they exchange greetings with the same frigid expression. His wife calls his name and asks, "Henry, do you still love me?" The answer is, "Of course I do." But Henry doesn't even change his expression. Their talk reveals that Debbie, Henry's wife, desires children, but Henry, while he loves children, is not interested in having their own. The doorbell rings and Debbie seems uninterested in who is ringing, because she has yet to receive an answer. Henry opens the doors and Eddie appears. It appears that Henry and Eddie were friends at times. There is another man with him, Joe, who is vomiting and lying on the ground. They managed to get him into the room. Eddie informed Henry that they are planning a baseball game, but that due to Joe's illness, they would be unable to participate. He invites Henry to join the game because their player is currently unable to play. But this was not the baseball game. There was something else. They drive away, and as Henry inquires about the baseball, Eddie responds quickly and requests that they stop at the next bank ATM so that they could get some money for beer. Aside from Eddie and Henry, there are two other guys. When Henry arrived at the bank, Eddie told him that he should be in the car and that the engine should be turned on. They leave, and Henry notices that the car is not legal because the engine wires were directly connected to start the engine. Did Eddie steal the car? And were they planning to rob the bank right now? Yes. Eddie and his associates enter the bank to rob it, but they are completely unprepared, so the security alarm rings. Bank employees begin bugging off. As soon as Henry's car starts, a security guard draws his pistol. Henry, who had no understanding what was going on, raised his hands politely and surrendered. The innocent Henry has been apprehended for a crime he did not even commit. Henry is being interrogated about his partners, but he did not give any name. Maybe he is too loyal to them, or maybe he only knows Eddie's name. Well, they're now in court, where the judge has sentenced Henry to 3 years in prison for robbery. Everything is accepted fully by our meek and silent protagonist. As though living in a cell or at home makes no difference to him. He is fine with it. He is now in a cell with Max Kahn, and he appears to be in good spirits. They exchange greetings and inquire as to the reason for their confinement. Max is about 50 years old, seasoned, and at ease in the jail. They both became friends, and Max informs him about jail rules and introduces him to other terrible prisoners on the first night at dinner. Max stated during conversation that the real crime is not committing to your dreams. When he questions Henry about his dream, he claims to be oblivious of it and doubts that he has ever had a dream. Max finds this weird and wonders what life would be like without dreams. You see, Max is a great guy, and he is instilling in Henry's mind a notion that will change his life forever. For a man to achieve his purpose, he must first have a dream. The film switches to a 6-month later scene. Debbie pays a visit to Henry in jail. They're still in the same frigid mood as the first day. Debbie is really here to inform Henry that she now wishes to marry Joe. Do you recall him? Yes, the guy who was vomiting in the beginning and carried out the robbery. Henry smiles as he congratulates her. Another year has passed. Henry appears to be accustomed in jail. Max is there with other prisoners doing their shaves and telling them stories, but Henry has grown his beard, possibly due to the grief that his wife is no longer with him. But we all know our Henry dude. He is not the type to take anything personally. Henry is going on parole now, but he is not looking excited. In their cell room, he bids farewell to Max and goes out. He looked to be uncertain about where he should go, so he heads to Debbie's former residence. Joe greets him and appears unconcerned about anything, treating Henry like a visitor. What? He's a visitor in the house where he formerly lived. Debbie was his wife, but as fate would have it, he is now a stranger. Debbie serves him beer while remaining calm. She is now pregnant, much to Henry's shock. Joe wanted to thank Henry for not giving his identity to the cops during the robbery. Henry explains, cynically, that he had no idea what his name was. Henry is now homeless and unemployed.